Yes.
How do you
Should we
do
count
it?
it?
Okay, heads or tails?
Alright, you all get a 10. Ready?
Heads. Beautiful. And it's heads.
You decided Tom.
Okay.
Okay. And you guys are here.
Me too. Okay.
So, just give us a second. We want to fill in some names here. Okay. So, starting with Tom. Would you all let us know who's going to be speaker 1 and who's speaker 2? Speaker 1. Okay, so Ben is going to be speaker 1. What about you, Nicholas? S-H-A-R-R.
Who's two?
Naomi. Okay, same for the rest. So which of you is speaking? Okay, which one of you is speaking? Lily or Ballard or B-O-R or B-O-U-R? You are. And then so Rachel. What team number? Team 1. You are. What team number are you on? Team 2, yeah. Okay. Are you sure you're not torn on team 1?
We were.
No, we're the first teams in four.
In four.
But
You're
we're
one
team
lead, number
G,
10.
like in the team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that blank.
Do you know what team you guys are?
Team 1, but that's for the regular team on there. They can just be the first one.
Right. I don't know. What is it? I'm following the sheet of names. Okay, perfect. Do you guys need
I think we're fine. Yeah, I think
second
we're
place?
fine. Alright, so. You want me to give you hand signals? You do that? Or you say stop? You say time's up. You say that.
So you don't give any kind of warning? Like 30-second warning?
You don't give us any warning. So,
Okay.
okay.
What about you if my alarm goes off?
Sufficient amount of time to get ready, but this is my first time judging this type, so.
Alright. Go for it.
Hello, my name is Ben Shura.
Sorry, so you are Tom, right? Isn't that there was a start? Team A. Okay.
Go for it. Okay. Fair enough.
Hello, my name is Ben Shirabi, and today I'm representing Fort William Junior School on the con side of today's argument. Today we are discussing the fact that zoos do more harm than good, as I've already stated. Much of our information disproves this, meaning zoos actually do good. They have done a lot for animals, such as research that has given us beneficial information about animals. Zoos also save altricial babies and other animals that wouldn't be able to survive in the wild or channel. Additionally, a few zoos have even brought some species back from extinction or endangerment in the wild. There are plenty of reasons why zoos do less harm than good, but there are more of why the zoos themselves are actually really good. One of these reasons are education to people. Many children and adults, especially those in large cities that may not have big zoos like we do in Memphis or San Diego, will never see a wild animal beyond a fox or a pigeon, let alone a lion or giraffe. Sure, television documentaries may get very detailed and can provide information about kinds of animals, and lots of natural history specimens are on display in museums, but it still doesn't always give people information that they need to know about the animals that they're currently going extinct. It isn't the same as seeing a living creature in the flesh, hearing it, smelling it, watching what it does, and having the time to absorb its details. Two other notable things that zoos do that can be considered helpful and good are the fact that they provide research to scientists, and that these scientists are meanwhile saving animals from extinction, and have even brought many species back into reintroduction. If we are to save many wild species and restore and repair ecosystems, we need to know about how key species live, act, and react. Doing research with animals will help create these good kinds of environments that we need in the world, and zoos are starting to help with that. Things like capturing and moving at-risk or dangerous individuals is bolstered by knowledge in zoos about doses for anesthetics and experience at handling and transporting animals. As I just said, scientists have also brought animals back from extinction. In 1972, the Arabian oryx was declared extinct in the wild. Thanks to breeding in the Phoenix Zoo in Phoenix, Arizona, the Arabian oryx was brought back to the wild in 1981. The population of the Arabian oryx has continued to grow so much that in 2011, their population status was changed from endangered to threatened. This is the first time that this has happened to a species previously declared extinct from the wild. Another animal that they have reintroduced was the California condor. Only 23 of them existed in the wild in the early 1980s, and later the last of the wild population was taken into captivity. They were taken to the San Diego Zoo, and it worked. Now there are more than 400 of them in the wild. In 2007, an estimated 13 rhinos were killed in South Africa. Last year, in 2017, the toll was at least 443, which is an enormous jump. In response to this, an anonymous writer wrote, "In order to protect and take care of endangered wild animals, they need to be captured and confined to secure places. With rises in poaching of wild animals for fur, ivory, and supposed medicinal benefits, zoos appear to be the safe havens for animals." Thank you.
No, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, judges. Good afternoon, fellow debaters. Good afternoon, members of the audience. My name is Noelle Brink, and our team believes that zoos do more harm than good. The word zoo is an abbreviation from zoological garden, and it was coined in the 19th century. A zoo can be described as a collection of animals found in nature. The reasons behind keeping animals in captivity are associated with educational needs, research, recreation, and conservation. The zoo culture can be traced back to the early period of Chinese, Egyptian, and Mesopotamian civilizations. The common types of zoos that we know are urban cage zoos, safaris, and sanctuaries. For a long time, zoo authorities claim to have contributed to the conservation of endangered animal species. However, with animal rights organizations becoming vocal on the issue of abuse of zoo animals, people are beginning to understand how zoos actually function. Animals have their own natural rights, and capturing them for any reason is wrong. For example, elephants are known to travel long distances when they are in the wild. In fact, they follow migratory routes and travel in herds called bond groups. Thus, restricting their movement by keeping them in confined spaces in zoos is unnatural. Wild animals are, in a way, connected to their natural surroundings, and this bond is broken when they are put in artificial settings of a zoo. No matter how good the facilities in zoos are, animals tend to suffer in the confines and constantly live in psychological pressure, which tends to reflect their abnormal behavior. Animals born in captive environment never get to see the world outside the confines, Locking them up deprives them from their much-needed freedom. And if and when they are released in the wild, they find it difficult to adapt to their foreign environment, far different from the zoos. Also, visitors tend to abuse the animals by throwing objects at them. This irresponsible behavior has a negative effect on animals and could be fatal. Generally, tigers and lions are at the receiving end of abuse by visitors. Captive animals do not exhibit their natural behavior traits in zoos. Therefore, studying an animal in a zoo won't reveal much about its natural living lifestyle. Many people think that zoos help endangered animals and return them to the wild. In reality, there are over 6,000 endangered species on record. Only 162 animal species are housed in zoos worldwide, and only a few 16 have ever been returned to the wild. These species might not have been documented to survive for more than a day though. For example, a species of baboon, 130 were total, were dropped off in the jungle where they came from more than 18 years before. Only 30 survived and were captured for further breeding. All the others were eaten. Animals need space. A zoo enclosures only have a limited amount of space for these magnificent creatures. Besides, how would you feel if everyone was staring at you from behind bars? Think about it. Cages are basically prison areas designed for animals that don't have the skills to survive, even if they were let go. Animals are easily stressed, and what could be more stressful than hundreds of humans staring at you and harassing you? My team and I believe that zoos do more harm than good. It is time for zoos to stop capturing animals and putting them at risk of harassment. Thank you.
Oh, it's a free for all.
Yes.
Got it. No, this is just between Ben and Ron.
Yeah, just between you two. You just go.
It says here, speaker one from team A and B are able to alternate asking and answering questions.
Is that how you usually do it?
This is just how they told us to do it today. This isn't normal process.
Would your teammates get
Policy
any
anyway.
questions?
This is how they decided to go through doing it.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. How do zoos educate visitors?
Zoos educate visitors just by showing them information simply about the animal. When you go to the zoo, there's like an information tablet that tells you about the animal. If you're endangered, it'll tell you about them. It tells you how you can protect them. There's many different ways. There's pamphlets at the front. There's plenty of ways that animals, that zoos help educate people and visitors.
The way that animals act in the zoo is not natural because they're in confined spaces and it's not really how they behave in the wild. So
A lot of zoos have created, you can call them unnatural, but they've created very similar habitats for most animals there to adapt in. Do you have any evidence of animals getting items thrown at them, or like statistics?
I have information of people falling into cages.
Falling into the cages, getting items thrown at them, you actually with them. You mentioned that people people go to the zoos for education at the beginning of your speech, but how would that be harmful to the animals?
Well, they're being mistreated when they're being educated.
Explain.
The way that they train the animals to do things, such as sea lions, sometimes be forceful and hurt the animals.
Do you have any questions?
How many people actually visit zoos each year, and what percentage of the population is that?
I don't know exactly the exact population percentage, but I know that in the Memphis Zoo there's over 1 million visits a year. And according to statistics, there hasn't been any harassment. There hasn't been much harassment to the animals in the Memphis Zoo at least. You brought up how there's been endangered species in the wild, over 3,000, I believe. And if you're claiming that zoos are being harmful, why? Like, how would they not be helpful to the endangered species? My team brought up that there have been many animals that have been saved, such as the Arabian oryx or the Californian carp. They've been saved from the oryx has been brought back from extinction, and they've been in the condor has been the population has risen since the 1980s.
Well, as I said,
They've been quite helpful for the past 30 years.
as I said earlier, when the animals are put back in the wild, which some zoos don't do, they get eaten and such because Can we have a minute on that, please? Yeah, it's just about time. Yes.
Okay, let's see. You have a total of, each team is going to be 2 minutes or set time here.
We have 1 minute.
Hello, my name is Naomi Sandler, and I'm debating for Warmland Jewish Community School against the pro side for this argument. Today's topic is zoos do more harm than good. Teammates ready? Judges ready? Opponents ready? Okay, let's begin. Bringing animals into zoos is not, in any way, shape, or form, capture. It is rather a forced adoption for the good. If they were capturing them, they wouldn't give them a place to live, food to eat, care, or anything like that. It might seem like tranquilizing an elephant, tying him to a helicopter, or flying him overseas seems like capture, but how else would they be able to get out of a place where they aren't cared for, or where they barely eat to most developed countries to help them? Animals who live in zoos are supported by any program of such survive longer than in the wild. They can get shot at any time, and a lot of them are prone to be prey. There has been no recorded zoo shooting in which the aim was to kill the animals. And with a secure shelter, there is no way any predator would be able to get into prey's habitat. The fact is that animals are left out in the wild is the reason why they are becoming more endangered. Leaving animals out in the wild can put them in extreme danger. Some animals are able to hunt other animals until there are no more left. These are called super predators and can be very dangerous. Any predator capable of exerting such impact will eventually drive its prey to extinction, according to Gerardo Cabelas, an ecologist of National Autonomous University of Mexico City. A user in debate.org said, "The fact is, there are good zoos and bad zoos. There are bad schools, bad police forces, bad politicians, bad hospitals, and doctors. But would we shut them all down just because it's some of the bad ones? Zoos would get it all right, but it's not zoos' sole responsibility to save the planet. It's the human race as a whole that needs to do this. Good zoos play an important role in funding and setting up conservation projects that save habitats and species. They educate people on what we are doing wrong in the wild habitats. They breed threatened species and act as safety nets for some of these. Zoos cannot save every species. There is not enough room, but there is also not enough habitat to just say, well, we could just leave them alone. We have forced extinction time again, and we should conserve species in the wild. Well, conservationists are trying, and zoos are assisting with this, with money and expertise. However, the animals and even the national parks and reserves in the wild are not safe. Hence, why protected species are still going extinct. Rhinos are just one classic example. Zoo employees would agree that animals are the best allowed to live in their wild state. However, this wilderness is getting smaller. Thank you.
Good afternoon, judges, fellow debaters, and audience. Today we are speaking in the affirmative. Zoos are a dangerous place for both animals and humans, and they do more harm. You said that they're not cared for, but animals have survived in the wild for a long time before zoos came. And also, you said that predators cannot get into cages, but humans are predators, and there are a lot of humans who have gotten into the cages, such as the Harambe incident when a 2-year-old boy got into the cage and they had to shoot Harambe because they didn't want to kill they didn't want him to kill the little boy. While our opponents have tried to provide examples of why zoos are good, let's put yourself in the shoes of the animals. How would you like it if every minute of the day there was someone watching? This is how all these caged animals feel. These animals are cooped up all day when in the wild they have space to be free. Many animals in captivity suffer from zoochosis. This causes animals to go insane. The symptoms include the following: bar biting, self-mutilating, circling, walking, swaying, pacing, rolling, twisting, nodding of the head or neck, vomiting, frequent licking, and excessive grooming. For example, a polar bear named Gus with zoochosis had $25,000 worth of behavioral treatment. The fact that humans force animals to be put in unnatural habitats is not right and harming animals. While zoos may try to provide ample space, the fact is that zoos do not get enough sufficient space to be for the animals to be free like they would if they were in the wild. The authors of Animals Make Us Human stated that these behaviors almost never occur in the wild. These innocent animals' diseases are entertainment. Animals harm humans because of them being suffering because they are being forced into small, unnatural habitats. Let's take the Harambe situation, for example. Harambe, the silverback gorilla, dragged a 3-year-old boy through the water. That caused Harambe to be shot. Another example is Melody the tiger. A zookeeper was trying to feed Melody, and Melody got aggressive and bit her arm off. Lastly, Mila the Siberian tiger. She escaped and killed one of 3 brothers and injured the other 2. These humans wouldn't have been injured if the animals didn't feel trapped. Here's some others that were attacked. Binky the polar bear, that they had attacks. Binky the polar bear, Binky the giant panda, Tatiana the Siberian tiger, and Jabari the gorilla. In a study of elephants that was government funded, the UK found that there was a welfare concern for every elephant in the UK. 70.5% of elephants were overweight and only 16 could walk normal. The remainder having various degrees of lameness, less than 20% were totally free of foot problems. In a Swedish zoo, the 9 of the lions were killed because they were left over or extra. If they were in the wild, the Swedish zoo wouldn't have killed them. Researchers compared the lifespan of elephants in European zoos with those living in the Amboseli National Park in Kenya, and others were working on the while others were working on the timber and enterprise in Myanmar. Animals that are in the wild or natural working conditions had lifespans twice that or more of their relatives in the zoo. While some may claim that zoos are used to conserve animals that are excluded, many of the animals that are in the zoos are very common and are not risk of extinction in the wild. Yes.
Are you guys not?
I'm like, I speak, but you're not like speaker. She doesn't speak.
She doesn't get to speak. Okay. That makes
Like,
more
I
sense.
still is grand crossfire. Everyone.
She gets to be part of the crossfire.
The grand crossfire.
Right. But she doesn't get to get up and speak or your vote. Got it. That makes more sense. Now it makes more sense. Okay. Now we're back to then, what else is there? And then grand crossfire. They all two and with David and Rachel, sorry. And then in the final, he goes back to Libby and Mary. Right, got it. I'm used to the team, don't I knew this. Got it, okay. So now we have, Naomi.
You guys
You
can get out
guys,
the question first.
Another 3 minutes for the process.
yes, 3 minutes for process.
Okay, so you could ask question first?
Sure. Are the polar bears' cages the same temperature as they are when Antarctica?
That's them, in the zoos, they make them the closest they can to they make them the closest that they can to the natural habitat so that they're basically.
Where did you get your information from that? From your cages?
From what I'm saying.
Where did you get your information from your
Multiple places, which they're talking about.
like? Can you list one of the places you got your information from?
From a website called from onegreentplanet.org, we use sources National Geographic and from the Memphis Zoo website. We use it from PETA's website. Okay. Yes. Like how you were talking about the trauma incident, the child that was involved in the trauma incident did not voluntarily go to the pool. He fell in. How is that the zoo's fault? How could they have, like, controlled, how could they have done anything about the child falling in? How could you blame the zoo if the child fell in? Accident.
He said that the predators couldn't get in, but the child got it.
The child is not a predator, the child is in harm's. Well, child
He's a human and he's doing
but the goal of the animal fell in accidentally into the child did not know anything about it.
Also, if the child fell in, and if probably the gate and area, but probably wasn't very secure, it was probably too low, so it was probably or so. So it wasn't, the security area wasn't, it was high. You said that in 2007, I believe the lions died, but when they died, is it when they were killed, or did they wild what killed them? The rhinos killed the lions, or were they wild?
The rhinos were killed, not the lions.
But who killed them?
The hunters killed them. The poachers, the poachers killed them. The hunters killed the.
She was talking about it. You were talking about it. Nature and I am too.
Yeah.
Because there are no ways that poachers can actually the animals.
Okay, so now we can summary from 10 and 12.
Earlier in our argument, we stated that zoos have helped to bring up the wild population of some species of animals. We mentioned the Arabian oryx, the first extinct animal in wild species to be brought up to the threatened status in the Californian colony. But there are even more species that were helped by zoos too. The population of the golden lion tamarin was nursed back to health by the National Zoo. In 2003, due to successful captive breeding and reintroduction, their status improved from critically endangered to endangered. As of now, they are still endangered, but they have a steady population trend, meaning their population is steadily rising over time. Another example is the Puerto Rican parrot, which was saved by the Lincoln Park Zoo. When I say saved here, I do not mean it lightly. The wild population was down to 13 in 1975, but thanks to captive breeding and reintroduction, by 1985 it was brought up to 47. The number might seem small, but because of hurricanes and their natural habitat, the Puerto Rican parrot population has had a difficult time growing. However, as of 2012, their population was at about 60, and 200 or more were in zoos and or were awaiting reintroduction.
As you can see, zoos can be very harmful to their animals. Here are some facts that support our statement. The chemicals in the cage can hurt the animals. Animals don't get as much exercise as they need. Animals get stressed when all the humans around them and look at them. Stress can cause animals to go insane and try to commit suicide. Some zoos actually give antidepressants or tranquilizers to control the behavior problems of some of their animals. In one situation, 200 keepers would step in and take care of rejected babies. In other situations, they choose to simply leave the babies to die. Selling animals is a profitable way for zoos to dispose of the animals. If some animals aren't attractive enough, they're either sold, traded, or killed. Some animals suffer mentally or physically in captivation. Elephants live 3 times longer in the zoo than in the wild than they do in the zoos. Some toddlers and young children tease the animals. The toddlers will use their hands and make the animals follow them. Also, food and drinks are stolen to the cages. 40% of lion cubs in zoos die before 1 month of age. In the wild, only 30% of cubs are thought to die before they are 6 months old, or at least 1/3 of those deaths are due to factors which are absent in zoos. Animals trapped in perfect environments with no obstacles and no need to find food may not survive in the wild after years of this. They may lose the ability to use their sense to hunt and sense to when prey is near. 1,000 animals are at risk of starvation in zoos. Zoos can't accommodate the psychological and physical needs of the animals that they keep captive. Zoos can't provide sufficient space. Zoos can't provide the amount of space animals have in the wild. This is particularly the case of those species who roam larger distances in their natural habitat. Thank you.
Did we please use your last minute?
Is this the last opportunity?
Yeah.
What?
We have 2 minutes.
Each team gets 2 minutes and we can. It says in the thing, it says each team is entitled to 2 minutes of prep time during the round.
So each already used one.
So you all want to get your prep time before the crossfires? Yeah.
They're allowed to stand. I think you guys each get 1 moment. You're only allowed 2. Committees choose you.
And you've both experienced this before, when you both
Billy, you guys
gone
have
to
learned it?
different tournaments.
What's that?
All right.
mentioned in your rebuttal that zoos have been around for a long time, but humans misbehaving and acting torturous to animals or falling into cages has not been around because there hasn't been any evidence or like documents of this happening anywhere much before the 2000s. And if that's the problem, then it's not really the zoos that are bad, is it? It's the people. And that's something that would have to be taken care of the people, not the zoo. The zoos are taking perfect care of the animals. How would the zoos be doing any harm to the animals like that?
If it's so easy to fall into the cages or to get near the animals to torture them, then I don't think the zoos are doing a very good job of keeping the animals safe. I mean, if a 2-year-old is able to slip through bars or fall into a tank, then that's not really, the zoos aren't really taking good protection of their animals.
What do you mean by the people?
By visitors.
In the Memphis Zoo, you will notice that many animals such as elephants and rhinos have no grass in their cages. In Africa, elephants and rhinos have not grass. Why don't you think that zoos have no grass in their cages for their animals?
We give them other types of food, and we give them food.
Well, I have 1,000 animals in zoos are at risk of starvation. I said that earlier.
That's not all animals.
If there's at such a risk of starvation, how come? If they're at such a risk of starvation, why? There isn't really any. Do you have any evidence of animals starving to death? Because zoos have taken care of animals for a long time.
You said that zoos are educational for all, yet not many people actually get to go. What do you think?
No, you didn't answer that question, but it's fine. So, a lot of people do get to go, especially when we live in a city with a great zoo like Memphis. We have a good chance of going, and the people that you say may not have a chance to go, most likely would not be the people that torture animals at all, because if they wouldn't go to the zoo, why would they torture animals? And if you've ever been to the zoo, to the Memphis Zoo, you know that lions and apes have a big barrier.
Do you want to finish your question?
Yeah, thank you. So, you know that the lions and apes have a big barrier before the actual fence comes. And you mentioned that animals that food and drinks fall into the cage. Is that correct? Is that what you said? How would it reach? How would that possibly reach all the way over there? Because if you ever seen the lions, you know that the lions are all the way out there inside the fence.
Well, the lions are the only animals that, like the elephants have a very, there's not there, there's like a tiny fence between them and people.
And would these be the chemicals that you guys are talking about that are so harmful? Because I haven't heard of chemicals that have been used against them.
Tranquilizers.
Okay. So now, Libby and Naomi are next, and Naomi, you have 2 minutes to do your final. What do you have to say?
I believe that we won this debate because we researched this topic thoroughly, did due diligence on considering all aspects of zoo life and administration, and the positive effects zoos have on people, animals themselves, and our planet. It is argued that animals don't have rights as such. In order to protect and take care of endangered wild animals, they need to be captured and confined to secure places. With rise in poaching of wild animals for fur, ivory, and supposed medicinal benefits, zoos appear to be safe better for animals. Thank you for participating with us in this. 2018 grade.
Fellow debaters and judges, we thank you for this opportunity and we really enjoyed our meeting today. To reiterate what our dean said, zoochosis, zoochosis hurts animals. We gave examples of animals escaping, and there's an answer. We have an answer to our questions. The Warton Women's Zoo is letting the animals serve. They let 265 animals. And we demonstrated to you that we have a lot of statistics to back up our answers. And we use real life examples and other data to prove our point. We are able to come to a conclusion that we want to. Thank you.